For a few more minutes, I'm the chair of the Chatham-Kent Chamber of Commerce down in Newbury. I'll call this meeting to order. First, just a few introductions, some faces at the table I was at, some new faces, some not so new faces, but Robin Vanal, she's the incoming chair of the Chatham-Kent Chamber of Commerce. Vice chair beside her, Chris Appleton, so Chris will be serving in 2013 when we host the Ontario Chamber of Commerce here in Chatham. Jim Moore, you'll be hearing from Jim, he's our Secretary-Treasurer. And today from the city, who will also be handling swearing-in ceremonies for the new members of the board, we have Councillor Doug Sloman. Also, in the audience from the city, we have Liam Clark, as well as some past presidents of the chamber. Brenda Richardson is here with us, and people who have held this position when I moved to be chair. We have Brent Deneur, and last year's chair who I followed, Andrew Evans, with us today. Last year, just a few. First, I'd like to say how fortunate I feel for having had this opportunity. I've always been a buy local supporter in my personal life, but that pretty well only covers the typical food, retail services, the types of purchases a homeowner makes in Chatham-Kent. In my professional life, the roles I've had for the company I work for didn't put me into close contact with the local manufacturing and agricultural businesses. So for the most part, before I took on this role, I didn't have much of a first-hand understanding of the history and the skills and the breadth of what the members of the chamber produced. This past year has changed all that. Over the past 12 months, I've had the privilege of meeting many of the entrepreneurs and the professionals and the skilled trades that provide the vast majority of the jobs in this community. And I've been struck, especially in these times of admiration, when I see just how well they're facing up against what must be the toughest times of our generation. The next thing I've observed, with staffing turnovers we've seen at City Hall in their leadership in the past two elections at the provincial and federal level, we've seen a lot of change in leadership and elected representation. And sometimes those are challenging, but always good things to go through, because it's put into place what I think is very qualified leadership, and that has the support of the majority of the people in this community. And with that support, I think we can now turn our attention from who we need to work with to what we need to accomplish, and committing ourselves individually to working together to get those things done. And then finally, over the past year, what's really struck me, we've seen an era of reinvestment in infrastructure in this community that must rival anything that Chatham-Kent has ever experienced. Things just off the top of mind. 2011, we see the redevelopment of Kingston Park and the crowds of people 3 generations deep that have flocked to it. Further north, the retail power center has expanded greatly, and we now have a great, locally accessible and inviting movie theater. Just across from that, the Ann Gen Mtg Institute. It's a world-class diagnostic, operating, and teaching facility sitting right at our front door. And the surge in investment continues in 2011 with the brand new YMCA. And I understand from a recent article that it's more than doubled its membership over its previous location and now draws regional competitive swim meets to this community. Add to that list down the street the huge expansions at St. Clair College, where their new healthplex and their technology and trade center pretty much doubled the size of their campus in 1 year. And what did that lead to? Well, with that, the St. Clair campus immediately offers something like 5 new programs this year alone. And that helped St. Clair to report that they led the province in 2011 in applications for their courses. They're something like 16% above the provincial average. And with much of that recruitment, they point out drawing in students from Kitchener, London, and the GTA area. So then towards the end of the year, some more great results. The John D. Bradley Convention Center opens on Richmond after an intense period of redevelopment from its former life as part of the Wheels End. And thanks to the planning, skill, and project management of this municipality that they put into this project before shovels went into the ground, our new convention center opens on time, on budget, and has been bowling over everyone, allies and skeptics alike, who have taken the time to attend a function there. In downtown core of Chatham, also saw continued renewal of its landscape due to Dan Warner. By year end, just as we all began to really appreciate what a magnificent transformation he'd made to that empty building we'd all been driving past for so long on the corner of King and 5th, he then pulls us another step forward in sharing his vision for King Street by acquiring the downtown mall, and promptly announces his plan to transform it, both on the outside, to remind us of the area's Market Square heritage, and on the inside by replacing empty stores with occupied office space that will increase traffic throughout the day. All these things in just 1 year. So in closing, as I said in my opening, I feel fortunate for having been a witness to such a collection of advances and accomplishments. So thank you.
Such duty,
do all things
and
such things only,
as
as I shall truly and conscientiously believe,
I shall truly and conscientiously believe,
to be consistent with the objects
to be consistent with the objects
for which the said chamber was instituted,
for which the said chamber was instituted,
according to the true intent and meaning of the same.
according to the true intent and meaning of the same.
In order to elect a chair for the 2012 term, I will open the floor to directors for motions for position of chair. The motion of Robin Bynum has been moved by seconder Andrew. All in favor? So carried. Are there any further motions for nomination? Seeing none, I will make a motion, ask for a motion to close the nominations. Ann? Second by Jim. All in favor? I will now call on the vote for Robin Bynum as 2012 chair. In favor? Congratulations. Fun. Now just going to ask.
Swear that I will faithfully
Swear that I will faithfully
and truly perform my duty
and truly perform my duty
as chair of the Chatham-Kent Chamber of Commerce,
as chair of the Chatham-Kent Chamber of Commerce,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all matters connected
in all matters connected
with the discharge of such duty,
with the discharge of such duty,
do all things
do all things
and such things only,
and such things only,
as I shall truly
as I shall truly
and conscientiously
and conscientiously
believe to be consistent with
believe to be consistent with
the objects
the objects
for which the said chamber was instituted,
for which the said chamber was instituted,
according to the true intent and meaning of the same.
according to the true and said meaning of the same.
Good enough. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.